Good pressing from Josh Sargent high up the pitch, forcing that Sunderland defender right into the path of Alex Petit, and Josh Sargent picks up the ball and drives into the box, pulls it back for Matthew Garber. It's blocked and it goes wide. So close to opening the score in there. So we couldn't quite get over the finish line and end up in one of those two automatic promotion places. Sheffield United and Bournemouth setting an unmatchable pace at the top of the table. We do manage to finish in third place though, which means a playoff semi-final against 6th place Sunderland. So promotion still very much on the table here in episode 64 of the Redmont Rangers Road to Glory career mode on EAFC 24. And we're going to get straight in to the action. I've had a quick look at Sunderland's pre-match report already, and I do think the 5-2-3 formation is going to be our best option against them. So if you've been watching the series since the start, you'll know we had a lot of success with this formation and this system early on. We've moved away from it in recent weeks, trying to establish ourselves as more of an attacking minded team, trying to keep pace with the high scoring Sheffield United and Bournemouth. But Sunderland, the pre-match report told me, are going to sit deep and attempt to counter-attack. But strangely enough, their attacking philosophy was to try and keep hold of the ball. So it seems to me that Sunderland are going to sit deep and defend, but they're not going to spring forward quickly in attack. So I think the 5-2-3 is going to make for a fairly defensive game. And I think we're going to have more attacking firepower than Sunderland. We are away from home in this opening fixture in the first leg of the Championship playoff semi-final. So we don't want to get too aggressive. We can afford to defend. We can afford to settle for a draw, or a 1-0 victory would be ideal, something like that. Sunderland with a free kick in a dangerous position early though, and I think it's at Redmont Arena in the second leg where we will really look to dominate the fixture and secure our place in the final at Wembley. So just looking to play a sensible, pragmatic game of football here. We're taking the Gareth Southgate approach in the first leg. So we have Josh Sargent up front on his own. No Samson Tavide today. He does have a place on the bench. No Eli Just either. Eli Just has actually secured a move away from Redmont. He's in the last year of his deal. He's been a decent player for the club, but Hans Newman not looking to renew his contract ahead of next season. So Eli Just will be a Luton Town player next season. Ball pass from Caleb Taylor invites pressure early. That's not sensible. That's not pragmatic. So in the absence of Eli Just, Alex Petit starts on the right-hand side. Brendan Clark starts on the left. Bali Mumba is in the left wing-back position. Josh Keane is more natural right wing-back. And then the usual back three of Bert Grieser, Jesse Cartwright, Caleb Taylor, Nathan Baxter in goal. Worked the ball well on the right-hand side here. Alex Petit, can he find Josh Sargent? Not quite. Struggled to settle into the game in the opening 5 minutes or so. Sunderland looking a little more dangerous with the ball at their feet than I thought they might. And again, they spring forward. Nathan Baxter makes the save. It's a good one, low and away to his left. A lot on the line in this game. We need to try and get settled, get focused away from home here at a packed Stadium of Light. Bali Mumba's going to come across and assist Jamie Shackleton as they try and stop the cross from this short corner. Jamie Shackleton puts a foot in after a bit of a miscommunication there from the two Redmont players, and that's a terrible challenge. This could be a card and it could be red. It's not, it's just yellow. I thought for a moment I heard a a slight roar in the crowd, but a slightly diminished one. So I thought perhaps it was the limited number of Redmont Rangers fans in attendance. It is something of a local derby here as well. Both clubs in the northeast. So a local derby here in the playoff semi-final, as Redmont take on Sunderland. Newcastle, you'd say, Redmont Rangers' primary rivals. Middlesbrough as well in the area. Alex Petit drives into the box. Really good feet. Manages to pull it back, but the goalkeeper's out quickly to smother. Josh Sargent in the area. We're running out in our third kits today. I haven't played with these. I think maybe I've played with these once all season. When I initially designed them, I thought they were pretty smart, but I quickly went off them and decided they were terribly, terribly ugly. A bit like Nottingham Forest's either third kit or away kit. I think it must be their third kit. Just finished watching the Nottingham Forest Brentford game. Really good game. Ivan Toney's return to Brentford got on the score sheet, and it was a 3-2 Brentford win. A good game, worth watching. But Nottingham Forest were in these. As Jesse Cartwright gives the ball away in a bad area. Nottingham Forest were in these awful salmon and purple changed kits. Was not a fan of those at all. Probably slightly more of a fan of them as over these Redmont kits though. Really good ball from Barley Mumba. Jamie Shackleton can't release the ball though. We showed limited attacking threat so far. We are content, as we said earlier though, just to defend, just to play a sensible, pragmatic, disciplined game of football. Good pressing high up the pitch though. Can Brandon Clark steal it away? He can't. Josh Sargent was there to assist as well. Looked dangerous for a moment. Jamie Shackleton's nicked it away as well. Alex Petit makes a good run. Be good if Josh Key would do the same. We'll just keep the ball on this occasion. Sunderland with more possession early in the game. The pre-match report did tell us they like to sit in and keep possession, and that is what we've seen so far. We could do with getting our feet on the ball a little more ourselves. Good effort from Josh Key. It was a nice idea to slip that ball through, but it was cut out by the Sunderland backline, who were well positioned to deal with it. Matthew Garbett in midfield today as well over Alex Lowry. Alex Lowry's played very well recently. We've been giving him more of a free role in recent games, and he's really excelled. But this game is coming in quick succession after the end of the season, so Alex Lowry a little tired, and we want to save him for the second fixture. So Matthew Garbett in midfield here, trying to unlock the Sunderland defence with a chipped ball over to Josh Sargent. But Sargent had just taken up an offside position, not far offside, but he certainly was off. Good pressing from Josh Sargent high up the pitch, forcing that Sunderland defender right into the path of Alex Petit, and Josh Sargent picks up the ball and drives into the box, pulls it back for Matthew Garbett. It's blocked and it goes wide. So close to opening the score in there for Redmont Rangers was Matthew Garbett, but it is deflected and out for a corner. Alex Petit will whip it in. Josh Sargent's at the near post, gets his head on it, and he heads Redmont Rangers in front. Josh Sargent, he scored so many goals since signing for the club, and he gets another one here today in the playoff semi-final away at Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Alex Petit's corner, the goalkeeper comes for it, gets nowhere close, and Josh Sargent with pretty much a free header at the near post there. Was a Sunderland player behind, kind of making an attempt to challenge for the ball, but he wasn't close enough to Josh Sargent to cause him any kind of trouble. And Josh Sargent heads into basically an empty net. And half an hour into the game, Redmont Rangers have the lead. It is somewhat against the run of play, you would have to say. Sunderland having more possession in the opening phases of the game. They haven't done too much with it, but we haven't really created any opportunities either, so it's been a game of few chances so far, but Sunderland just edging the game in terms of possession at the very least. But it's Redmont Rangers who go a goal up, and again we can be even more pragmatic and even more sensible now. We've got a 1-goal lead away from home in the playoffs. We could just take a 1-0 lead back to Redmont Arena. I would be more than happy with that. Bali Mumba picks it up on the left-hand side. But Risa back to Bali Mumba. Good possession play now for Redmont Rangers. We can afford to take our foot off the gas a little bit. Really good ball in from Bali Mumba though. Nobody really on the edge of the box there. I think that's something I might need to try and tweak in the player instructions slightly if possible. We don't tend to have players on the edge of the box waiting for clearances like that. Perhaps we need to bring the players in the box slider back a little bit. Josh Sargent nicks the ball away after a sloppy pass from the Sunderland defender. Got Brendan Clark alongside him. Josh Sargent just continues into the 6-yard box though and flashes the ball across the face of the goal and out for a goal kick. The angle was growing more and more narrow with every step, but Brendan Clark was just occupied by the Sunderland defenders. Wasn't really an opportunity for Josh Sargent to square the ball at any moment. So I think taking the shot on was not a bad idea at all. Didn't manage to get it on target though. You need to put that at least on target, because if the goalkeeper makes a save there, he's likely to parry it out back into his own 6-yard box, and then perhaps Brendan Clark can get on the end of a rebound. But flashed across goal. Don't blame Josh Sargent for going for the back post too much rather than just firing it towards the near post. Brendan Clark is at the back post this time though. Josh Sargent again in the area for the cross. Matthew Garbutt on the edge this time, taking up a better position, but can't prevent the Sunderland player from grabbing the ball and clearing. Sunderland break down their right-hand side, our left. Do get players back sufficiently to force them to turn back towards their own goal though, and Bert Risa finds the ball at his feet. Caleb Taylor in plenty of space on the right-hand side, and Bert Risa finds him really well. I did anticipate that if we got the lead, this 5-2-3 formation would be a particularly good one, because we do enjoy a lot of possession in our own half with this formation, with 5 at the back and typically only 1 striker in a position to press. We can just possess the ball not high up the pitch, you know, not far from our own goal, but we can possess the ball relatively comfortably. Nice throw from Bali Mumba. Cross into the box now, and Josh Sargent heads towards goal. The goalkeeper parries away and looks at his defenders. They just continue to let Josh Sargent get across them and turn free headers towards his goal. And we're going to aim for Josh Sargent again here with the Alex Petit corner. It's actually... Is that Brendan Clark? I believe it's Brendan Clark, and it is. Brendan Clark in the exact same position. I was anticipating Josh Sargent being there. The number 9 was elsewhere on this occasion, drawing attention away from that position. And that allows Brendan Clark to basically mirror the goal that Josh Sargent scored moments earlier. Brendan Clark with a free header. The goalkeeper comes to claim again. Doesn't get there. Brendan Clark heads into an empty net. It's one thing to allow Josh Sargent to score a goal like that. He's proficient in the air. He's big. He's strong. He's a good header of the ball. But to allow a small, pacey winger like Brendan Clark to rise up for a corner and head the ball into an empty net it's unforgivable from a Sunderland perspective. Just before the stroke of half-time, though, 2-0 Redmont Rangers, 2 identical goals. And the ball bounces off Alex Petit. I'm not sure if we're going to get a free kick there or if it's going to be a Sunderland throw-in. looks like it might actually be a Sunderland free kick. That was pretty much the only outcome I wasn't anticipating there. So Sunderland just chip it towards the near post. They do head the ball towards goal, but falls harmlessly wide. Nathan Baxter not worried at all by that. Really poor effort. So just 3 minutes of injury time. We are already into the second, so it looks like it's going to be a 2-0 lead for Redmont Rangers as we move into the half-time break. You have to anticipate Sunderland are going to press higher, are going to be more aggressive in the second half. They're probably not going to throw everything at this game because, of course, there is still a second leg. We are still going to host them at Redmont Arena. What a ball that almost was from Caleb Taylor. So Sunderland, of course, do still have 3 halves of football to get back into this tie. We're only a quarter of the way through the championship semi-final, really. Halfway through the first leg, but an entire second leg yet to come. So you would imagine that Sunderland will press high. They almost certainly will be more aggressive in this second half. But I don't think it's going to be a case of us being able to sit back and wait for them to flood players forward and then pick them apart on the counter-attack. I think they're going to be a little more disciplined than that. But we shall see. Alex Petit finds himself in some space to cross. Josh Sargent wants the ball. Sunderland do a better job of dealing with the cross on this occasion. Parliament just recycles to Burke Reeser. We may even move into our defensive game plan at some point in this second half. Don't need to do that just yet, because we are dominating the game now. We're 2-0 up. We've found our stride. Sunderland not really been able to put together any kind of period of possession like they did in the opening 5, 10, 15 minutes or so. Really good touch from Alex Petit there. Finds Matthew Garbutt inside. He just gives the ball away there. Runs into trouble there. Trying to find space to switch the ball to the left-hand side. Does well to steal the ball back, though. Brendan Clark making a run ahead of him. It was who Matthew Garbutt was interested in finding the first time. Brendan Clark cuts back onto his right foot and puts a really good cross in for Josh Sargent. The header too close to the goalkeeper, though. It makes a very good save. Almost on the score sheet for a second time today, Josh Sargent, but doesn't manage to make it 3. He could this time, though. Heads towards goal. Another really good save from the Sunderland goalkeeper. Another header from Josh Sargent from a corner. The goalkeeper stays on his line this time, though. He's come for corners twice. He's failed to get there twice. And Sunderland have been punished twice. So he's learnt his lesson now, but it's far too late for Sunderland, really. Sargent making a nuisance of himself high up the pitch. We've got to rely on Josh Sargent to be the man to press high up the pitch, being the lone striker as he is today. I do want to get him off at some point in this second half, now that we do have a comfortable lead. Just want to reserve him for the second leg at Redmont Arena. Samson Tavide himself, though, not particularly fit. He's not raring to go at this point. Freddie Gardner is fully fit. However, I wasn't sure how this game was going to go. I didn't know if we might need Samson Tavide late in the game. I think I'm actually going to make the change now. Josh Sargent is going to come off. Samson Tavide is going to come on. He's actually more tired than the man that he's replacing. But I feel like we can make do with, if we have to, Josh Sargent as the starter and Freddie Gardner as the substitute in the second leg. I just want to ensure that we have Josh Sargent up front to start the game at the very least. So Samson Tavide will come on for the remaining 35 minutes or so. Oscar Duarte makes an appearance at left wing back for Barley Mumba as well. Again, just fresh legs in that position, really. Caleb Taylor drifts forward, spreads the ball wide to Brendan Clark. What a ball that is from Caleb Taylor. And Brendan Clark can't quite find Matthew Garbutt. He does manage to find the ball back at his feet, though. Oscar Duarte whips it in early. Matthew Garbutt brings it down. Josh Key is now in acres of space on the right-hand side, and again crosses, puts it into a really dangerous area. Sunderland defender eventually clears. That goalkeeper loves to come out. He came out again there and got nowhere near it. I think we just continue to put crosses into the box at this point. Oh, Josh Key loses possession cheaply. He cannot wait to rush off his line, this goalkeeper. Thought he'd learned his lesson based on the last corner, but old habits die hard, I suppose. Brendan Clark's looked decent today. He's not played a massive amount of football since we made the change to the 3-1-4-2 as our primary formation. Alex Petit finds the ball at his feet, a lucky bounce, and he's into the box. Can he make it 3? He hits it straight at the goalkeeper, tries to pull it back. Poor finish from Alex Petit. He'd done all the hard work getting into that position. Persistent play high up the field, wins the ball back. And his hard work earns a lucky bounce. But the finish poor, straight at the Sunderland goalkeeper. Yeah, Brendan Clark's game time has been limited since we made the transition in system. So he hasn't had much opportunity to impress. He has played well today, though. Really good run from Matthew Garbutt, and that's a great ball from Josh Key to almost find him. That deserved to come off. Really, really good play between the two of them. I'm going to have to be careful here as Jesse Cartwright struggling to get across and make the block, which he does manage to. Caleb Taylor allows his man past him, though. Nathan Baxter probably had it covered, but the shot goes wide regardless. Poor defending from Caleb Taylor. He's a very, very good defender, but every now and again he does just have these moments where he loses focus, he loses concentration, and just allows an attacker to wriggle by him. Plenty of space for Brendan Clark to run into. He's not quite going to get there, but he does steal the ball back. Samson Tavide on the edge of the box, want the pull back. He gets it and he buries it. 3-0 Redmont Rangers. Samson Tavide secures the victory without doubt in this first fixture, and potentially secures the championship semi-final as a whole. It's going to be a really difficult task for Sunderland to come back in the second game away from home at Redmont Arena and overcome a 3-0 deficit. So 3 goals, 3 goal scorers. Josh Sargent opening the scoring early in the game. Alex Petit, Brendan Clark rather, just before half-time. Alex Petit with 2 assists, though. The first 2 goals coming from his corners. And Samson Tavide makes it 3. Oscar Duarte with really nice footwork. Can he make it 4 here, Oscar Duarte, or at least set it up? Can't find any players in the box with a Redmont shirt. Couple more changes in the offing next time the ball goes out of play then. Want to try and take probably our more important players off the pitch. Nice play from Sunderland down this left-hand side though, just trying to get something of a consolation goal late in the game here. Really good intervention from Caleb Taylor. He does lose the ball, but did really well to make the challenge initially. Jesse Cartwright with a block there as well, and Oscar Duarte just clears. There's no reason to do anything other than that at this stage of the game. Get the ball away from our penalty area is the only task. Ball goes out of play. We'll make a couple more changes. Jamie Shackleton can come off for Lewis Baker. Let's bring Caleb Taylor off for Warren O'Hora since he is slightly tired. And we'll leave it there for now. Potentially we'll make a 5th and final change within the last 10 minutes or so. Only 15 of regular time to go. If we can keep a clean sheet, I don't see how this game could have gone any better for us. Oh, Josh Key just manages to collect the ball as it wriggled through to him. Alex Petit doing well to get away from the Sunderland defenders on that right-hand side. Just keeping possession is fine. Corner will do as well. Good, mature, disciplined play from Alex Petit. Calls for Brendan Clark to take it short. And Brendan Clark just lays it off for Petit, puts the ball in towards Matthew Garbutt at the back post. Didn't need to put the ball in there, but there was so much space that it seemed silly not to. So Watford West Brom, the other fixture in the Championship semi-finals. Haven't heard any updates about how that's going. So it'll be interesting to see what the scoreline in that game was after we finish our game here. In fact, Watford West Brom probably not playing at the same time as us, are they? So we won't have had any updates during the game, but we will find out the score after the game, obviously. Alex Petit for Eli Just is a fine 5th substitution, so we make that change now via the quick subs. I think I'm changing my mind about the 3rd kit again. It looked kind of nice there. As Samson Tavide ran off the pitch. Possibly the last outing for Eli Just in a Redmont Rangers shirt then. He has secured that move away to Luton. Luton were level on points with Sunderland as the season came to an end. They missed out on a playoff place on goal difference alone, so if things went just ever so slightly differently, potentially we could have been playing against Eli Just's future club here. He's been a good player for Redmont Rangers. We've had him for 2 seasons at least now. Maybe this is even his 3rd season for us. We signed him very early in the series, and he has been a good, reliable player out on the wing. He's kind of hit his peak now as a 70 overall, so we are looking to upgrade to a higher caliber of player. But in League 2, League 1, and into the Championship, he's been absolutely serviceable for us. And obviously we wish him well at Luton Town. Really strong play from Burke Reeser. He is not letting these Sunderland strikers have the ball by any means. And an off-the-ball collision there between O'Hora. Sunderland players potentially getting a little frustrated here with how this game has gone. Didn't really see what happened there. I just saw O'Hora take a tumble as Eli Just is caught offside. Big win from Lewis Baker. He was rewarded in a recent episode with a new contract, so he'll be back at Redmont next year. Scored the winner in that really dramatic finish against Cardiff City. And that was enough to convince Hans Newman that he should be back next year. That goal alone probably worth the contract that he was given. Just a 1-year extension. Just seeing the game out now. There's less than a minute to go before stoppage time, and there won't be too many minutes of that. 4 minutes it is. And if we have anything to say about it, Sunderland won't touch the ball for these last 4 minutes. They've given up on the game, really. They've got one striker pressing admirably still at this point. But they're content with a 3-0 loss. There's not a lot they can do about it, to be fair. The game is gone. I mean, they do touch the ball there, Sunderland. They don't gain possession, but they do technically get a touch on it, so we didn't have our way. Oscar Duarte then just to take it into the corner and find Brendan Clark, who's actually offside. The clock will continue to tick, though. And Sunderland just loft it up the field. Samson Tavide close to nicking it back in Sunderland territory. They might have one last attack. I mean, a goal late in the game wouldn't be the worst thing for Sunderland at all. 2-goal deficit, obviously much easier to overcome, but they don't look too interested in forming an attack, and the referee does blow his whistle. Lots of Redmont Rangers fans in the third kit there. I'm not sure the club would have sold quite that many. So a comfortable 3-0 victory for Redmont away at the stadium. A light goals from Josh Sargent, Brendan Clark, Samson Tavide securing the victory. And it is looking very much as if we are going to make it to the playoff final and another day at Wembley. We, of course, made the playoffs to reach the championship, getting promoted from League One at Wembley, I believe. So long ago now that I'm second guessing myself, but I'm pretty sure that's when we went to Wembley. No, it was the EFL Trophy, wasn't it? It was the EFL Trophy, and we lost against Portsmouth. We were soundly beaten by Portsmouth in the EFL Trophy. So that was the trip to Wembley that we have already taken on in the series. West Brom and Watford haven't played yet. Hopefully a more successful trip to Wembley the next time we go. So a couple of youth players are unsettled. I do want to ensure that we can promote any players who do look particularly good, because there are some down here that I think look really, really good. Austin Powell is not really one of them. He's 18, 59 overall, 81 to 87. I'm not too fussed about promoting him. It was Kovalenko. Again, I could take him or leave him. And then the third, I missed his name. It's Elliot Barnett, who is, again, not great. So there are some good players in the youth academy. None of them are unsettled at the moment, so I don't feel the need to promote anybody. So West Brom win 2-1 on aggregate over Watford. So we currently have the lead over Sunderland. West Brom currently have the lead over Watford. So we will play the second leg of the Championship semi-final at Redmont Arena in the next episode. And we will almost certainly be taking on the final in the episode after that. So we will look forward to those. Hope to see you there. Take it easy.